Have you ever tried to rest and you just felt like no matter how much sleep you tried to get, it just wasn't enough? I have been there, and I have learned through trial and error that there are other ways that we can get rest. We can get rest mentally, emotionally, spiritually, and there are actually 7 different types of rest that we should be getting. And I'm going to give you those 7 along with my remedies on how you can get those types of rest and the things that work for me. But before we get into that, I am Julia. This is Tea Time with Julia, and I have my peach tea in here. I hope you have a drink or something, to like drink while you're following along. Also, if you want to take notes, absolutely feel free. And again, if you want to do more research on your own and see how these can apply to you and really implement them into your life, absolutely feel free to. But like I said, I have gone through, even like over the years, just trying to nap and not feeling completely content. And I would like wake up and still feel groggy because there was another way that I needed to rest. I needed to do something else besides sleeping. So I'm going to go through the 7 different types of rest. The first one being physical rest, and that is the one that we know where, your body just feels heavy and you just need to like physically sleep. And you can also get physical rest by actively doing yoga, stretching, doing a light workout, going for a walk on the beach, around your neighborhood, whatever it is. It could even be taking like a nice shower or bath where you can really like just let your muscles be soothed and relaxed. So that, again, is the first one. That is physical rest. For the second type of rest is mental rest. And that is like when your brain just feels like, all of your thoughts are just scattered. Everything's like shooting and there's just so much, everything is scattered and you really just need to rest your brain. So that is when you need to take mental rest. And in order to remedy that, you could, take breaks while you're working. Be more mindful with like the breaks that you're taking even and the work that you're doing, and to really try to stay focused and present in the moment. One way that I like to take mental rest, I will do this like between my tasks while I'm working because I work at home. I will take out my coloring book, I'll take out my markers, and I will focus on coloring in the lines, even for like 20 minutes. And I find that really helps me stay present. It helps me really focus on what I'm doing, making sure that I'm coloring in the lines, that I am like choosing the colors that I want. So I'm really focused on that. And it really takes me out of my head and it brings me into the present moment. So that is a way to get mental rest. The third type of rest is emotional rest. And I feel like that is when your emotions just feel unexpressed. They feel like they are just like consumed and just swelling inside of you, and you might need to talk to a friend. You could talk to a therapist, or even like if you don't really have like a friend or a therapist that is like accessible in that moment. If you have a pet, you can talk to your pet. You can even like talk out loud to yourself. And I feel like this goes to both mental rest and emotional rest, but you can journal out all of your thoughts and your emotions. You can do voice memos. I love doing voice memos. I just record myself talking. Sometimes I will listen to it over again if it's like an idea or something that I have or something like I want to come back to. But, just getting out your feelings however you can, and in a way that is going to make you feel lighter in the end, just so you can like really just, relieve yourself of those emotions. And another way that I also get emotional rest is by watching my favorite like YouTubers, my favorite people. I will like watch the same people every day because they like to post every day. And that is a form of like sort of engaging. And also what I'm going to go into the next one is social rest, which is where you are having like, those nice conversations, those good relationships where you are talking to someone, hanging out, even like I said, watching your favorites on YouTube. You're not exactly talking to them, but that is sort of a connection. That is a relaxing way, if that helps you, to really, get your rest. And like I was going into the fourth type of rest, social rest, when you kind of feel like you want to talk to somebody, you want to hang out. To me, that kind of feels like antsy, like you want to do something and you want to have a conversation with somebody. And it is really figuring out the difference between a draining relationship and a rejuvenating relationship, because we can always have those relationships in our lives where there isn't a lot of give and take. It isn't mutually beneficial for each party. And by getting social rest, you are focusing on those healthy relationships. You are having good conversations with good people and good friends that you really care about, even if it's just having a good laugh with like like I talked to my cousin last week and we were just, it wasn't super heavy and it wasn't really deep conversations that we were having, but we were just having a good time. And I was like crying, laughing, and it was so much fun. So getting social rest can just be having a good conversation. It could be talking to somebody at the grocery store where it is like lighthearted and it isn't super serious, but it is like something that is fulfilling. And it kind of gives you that feeling of belonging and togetherness, which leads me into the fifth type of rest, which is spiritual rest. And again, that is that belonging feeling. That's that community feeling where you can feel it more so at the soul level. And in order to get spiritual rest. I was thinking about the S, I got confused. But in order to get spiritual rest, you could volunteer. You could do things with other people, like plant flowers or, doing something together as a community where you are really nourishing your soul. And you could also be praying if you pray and you believe in praying. If you believe in meditating, you can try that. If you have an altar that, again, you want to pray to, absolutely do that. And I sort of do all of the above, but I will just like talk to myself. I will talk to the universe out loud, and that always feels fulfilling to me. And even like combining sort of social and spiritual rest, when I was talking about sort of like watching your favorite people online. And again, I feel like some of these remedies can really combine different types of rest. So you can get different types of rest all in one action. But yeah, watching your favorite people on YouTube. And I love to talk about my experiences. And in order to like help and guide people who are going through a similar thing, and I do it not really as like telling you what to do, but like guiding you with love and like acceptance, and that we've all been through difficult times, and that sometimes we just need somebody to listen to, whether despite not really like talking to them, like listening to people on YouTube, you're not really having a conversation, but sometimes it is nice to just have that company there and to have that sense of belonging and understanding that you aren't alone. And in one of my recent videos, actually one of the viewers said that it was really nourishing to the soul. So don't just take it from me. Absolutely, I would definitely honestly recommend you listening to some of my videos, but that is just me tooting my own horn. And yeah, I really believe that we can get our rest, our emotional rest, social rest, spiritual rest, all in one, just by having good conversations and being around people that truly love us and truly care about us. And onto the sixth type of rest, that is creative rest. And that is when you're sort of feeling depleted of ideas and motivation and inspiration, you're just feeling like, ugh. What can help with that is going outside, paying attention to nature, looking at the way the clouds are shaped in the sky, or like the tree, like the bark on the tree, and maybe that might inspire you to make a sculpture or something. And even going to museums, libraries, going through your old work. If you're a creative, going through some of your old like paintings or things like that can really help you get inspired for your next idea. And the seventh and final type of rest is sensory rest. And that is when we need like a break from the external stimuli, from the noises, from the chaos, from just the bright lights, the bright screens. And in order to get that type of rest, you can literally just shut off your phone, shut things off, turn the lights off, put on like a sleeping mask if you have one of those that really, that darkens everything. Put on some headphones, even listen to like a healing frequency so you can just focus on that one noise and, just to really bring yourself into the present moment and help yourself be grounded. So those are the 7 types of rest. Again, they were physical, mental, emotional, social, spiritual, creative, and sensory. And I really hope that will help you implement them into your life to get like that full soul level rejuvenation and just healing all around, because I think the more we try different things and learn what works for us, again, like authentically, that's all I'm about, is authenticity. The more you figure out what works for you, the more that you can feel good about yourself, again, at the soul level. So I hope that was helpful, and I hope you stick around for another video. I hope you had your tea. I didn't really have any of mine because I talked this whole time, but that's okay. I'm going to finish it now. And I hope to see you again. But if not, bye for now.